If you can't japa, I beg, think of another thing you can use to help you live a standard life. It pains me when I see pharmacists who can't afford basic necessities of life, like a comfortable three-bedroom flat, well furnished, at least 2009 Camry model car. You will see many pharmacists trekking under the sun to work, whereas you make millions for the owners. Pharmacists, you need to wise up. Pharmacy is supposed to be the richest health profession in Nigeria or in the whole world. Because no matter the service doctors, nurses, the medical lab render to patients, it must always result to the use of drug, and pharmacists are custodians of drugs. Since every citizen must pass through you for them to get better, why are pharmacists still poor in this country? These are the words of my fellow Nigerian. These are the words of my fellow pharmacist. And I am reading this out because I can really, really relate. It is one of the messages that I have seen from my fellow pharmacists that has struck me. There is nothing less of the truth in this message. This was a message that a pharmacist dropped in one of the pharmaceutical groups that I am in, and it really put me into so much thought, and it really makes sense at the end of the day, because when I set out on the journey to a different path other than pharmacy, I kind of felt insane. I was like, how did I spend all these much years in school and I'm not even deriving joy in practicing pharmacy? I know leaving school, I had the whole energy, the ginger to go into the labor market and to make it big. I'm a pharmacist. I finally have my degree. I finally have my license to practice as a pharmacist. I was eager to work. I was eager to start my internship to finally make use of this license. 8 years ago, I got into pharmacy school, and in 2022, I finished my internship. I remember when I was coming over to Lagos for my internship, one of my uncles that has a foreign exposure was telling my mom that this your daughter, she will have money. Oh, pharmacy is hot cake. She's going to have a lot of money, and all of that actually gave me a lot of hope, to come into the labor market, to make that said money. So now, 2 years post internship, I can say that solely that my uncle wasn't wrong about pharmacy being a hot cake. He wasn't wrong about, me having a lot of money as a pharmacist, but either because the Nigerian economy has gotten so bad and terrible, or that we as pharmacists in Nigeria are beginning to realize our worth, are beginning to realize how much undervalued we are beginning to realize how much underpaid we are. When I was thinking as I was insane or something was wrong, why am I not deriving joy in this practice? Nothing is actually wrong with me. I am not insane. I am not insane, because in this message, the person is clearly seeing everything that I have seen so far from the practice. First of all, the person said, if you can't japa, think about another thing that you can use to help you live a standard life. A lot of pharmacists, a lot of medical professionals are leaving Nigeria. We are all leaving this country. A lot of us are pharmacists turned tech. A lot of us are pharmacists turned content creators. A lot of us are pharmacists turned tailors, especially those of us that are still based in Nigeria. A few of us that are seeing the brighter side, as I am, are actually delving into different career paths just to be able to have good standard of living, just to be able to make ends meet, just to be able to have a comfortable life. Pharmacy is actually a very beautiful profession. For my uncle to say that, oh, she's going to be rich, she's going to have money. Pharmacy is a beautiful profession. But one very heartbreaking thing about medical practice in Nigeria is that you will hardly make money when you're under someone as an employee. Like my fellow pharmacist stated here, we can barely even afford to get at least a 2009 Camry model. We trek to work, we make millions for our employers, and at the end of the month, we are underpaid. We are sorely underpaid. A lot of people are looking at different alternatives, not because they've lost interest, they've lost the passion for the pharmacy practice, health career and all of that. But a lot of us are looking away just to be able to raise capital to come back to the pharmacy practice, to do something that will actually be beneficial to us. For instance, a lot of people are buying, aka leaving the country. People are traveling abroad. People are delving into, anything that can actually help you make money. People are going into all of that. And for me, I'm one of those that are actually looking away. That's part of the reason why I am currently not practicing in Nigeria. And a lot of people always ask me, "Hey, fam, which pharmacy are you working in now?" I'm like, after my internship, I have worked, in several pharmacies, and guys, the economy is bad. The economy is really, really bad. It breaks my heart each time I think that, you can barely save 50,000 naira from your salary. Like, the cost of living is so high. Okay, let's take for example, you save 50,000 naira every month for 12 months. At the end of the year, you're saving just 600,000 naira. And you're going to have to pay rent. Rent in, for example, this Lagos, if you're looking at a single room, my brother here is even going far to think that a pharmacy should be able to afford a 3 bedroom flat. Let us not even go that far to a 3 bedroom flat. Let us think about like a single room here, least 300,000 naira. You're going to pay that out of your saved 600,000 naira. So at the end of the day, you have how much saved? At the end of the year, 300,000 naira. Not even thinking about, other expenses that you probably make out of it. Family is there that will call you for money. How are you going to be able to buy a car, or when are you even going to be able to buy a car? How much is a Camry card now? You guys tell me. Don't even go too far to the latest model. My fellow pharmacist here stated 2009 model. That would be nothing less than 1 million. So when are you going to be able to save up to 1 million? And of course, you're not going to use all your savings to buy a car. So let's double it. When are you going to be able to save up to 2 million to get a Camry car of, let's call it 1 million? If you're having only 300,000 left in your pocket at the end of every year, 6 7 years from now, that's when you're going to be able to save up to 2 million naira. 6 7 years from now. You guys, paid employment is a trap. It's a big time trap. You're working, you're making millions for your employer, and at the end of the day, your standard of living is far less than that of someone that even went to school. Content creators these days make a whole lot of money, and then we as pharmacists, we as medical professions, we wear our suits, we carry our shoulders up, well padded, and we are flexing muscles as medical professions in Nigeria, whereas it's not paying. It's honestly not paying. The beauty of practicing pharmacy in Nigeria is if you're able to have something for yourself, or probably if you're working for all these regulatory agencies like NAFDAC. Yeah, I think they actually pay very well. The higher you grow in rank, so you grow in pay and all of that. But how many people are able to get into that kind of agencies? Most of these agencies, you get in there based on who you know, and they can't employ every pharmacy. They can't employ hundreds that are graduating from the country yearly. So how many is NAFDAC going to be able to employ? So at the end of the day, most of us that are just leaving school, all our hope is on community pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, industrial pharmacy, and these three spheres have less to offer in terms of pay. Pharmacy is actually a very beautiful course. There are different spheres in the practice. Like I mentioned, is industrial, manufacturing, community pharmacy, health, regulatory agencies. There is the import and export, supply chain. There is actually a lot of opportunities in pharmacy profession, but the country is not even helping the life of the youth. The country is not helping the dreams of youth. I actually realized my passion for content creating ever since I was in school, even before I graduated. In fact, when I was in 100 level, 20 level, I still having the passion for, presenting, red carpet hosting shows, that kind of media thing. And I actually hosted a couple of events back then when I was in school, and it was very beautiful. So then I'm like, okay, what is one thing that I can do to consistently put out myself there? And that's part of the reason why I created this YouTube channel, created this as an outlet for expression. I have a YouTube channel that I created back then when I was in school, but I had to create this new one because evolution took place. That channel wasn't really headed to where I was going. What am I saying with this? Whoever you are, whatever it is you studied in school, and whatever degree you have, try to have something you own. Try to have something that is within your control. Try to have a craft, something other than what you studied in school. I've realized that what makes people money in this country is self-employment. When you have something that you're doing for yourself, that you have the control over, the financial control, the time control, everything that pertains to that thing is within your control. Like, you're the boss, you're the owner. I honestly don't think that what I'm being paid and where I was when I was still practicing would align with my long-term vision. No, I don't think it will align with my long-term vision. I was working in a community pharmacy, and sometimes I would just get very upset when I'm at work. I wasn't enjoying the work, I wasn't enjoying the practice, and it all boils down to one, not having the control over your time and not being paid sufficiently. 10 years ago, if pharmacists were paid 100,000, it would probably be a lot of money. But right now, paying a pharmacist 100 and plus thousand is not a lot of money. So I had to make that sacrifice to start working on my own thing, to start building myself and leave building someone else's business, to build and create my own empire. Like, it's a sacrifice that I'm making now because I am probably not even seeing money from what I'm doing now. I'm talking about content creating, for example, here on YouTube. It's probably not paying now. Is it paying? No, it's not paying now. But I know the vision that I have. What I'm doing here is something that people love. What I'm doing here is something that I am seeing growth from. And what I'm doing here is something that is sustainable. You're all asking me, oh, which pharmacy are you working in now? Why aren't you in any pharmacy? I hope you understand, and I hope it makes sense to you. It wouldn't be bad if I own an industry myself. It wouldn't be bad if I own a community pharmacy myself. It wouldn't be bad if I go into importing and exporting. But all of these require money, and you will not be able to raise that kind of money from being employed by someone. The average salary for a pharmacist, an employed pharmacist in Nigeria, is like 150,000 naira. An employed pharmacist. So a lot of us are living through masters, going out for greener pastures. And I wish everybody well. If you're a pharmacist and you're now into tech, if you're a pharmacist and you're now into content creating, if you're a pharmacist and you now sell wares, or you do one or two things to be able to survive, please don't ever feel guilty. One of the sad things is that the kind of stress that pharmacists could put you through. It may feel as though that stress was for nothing. I just want to encourage anyone going through that phase, don't even carry your license or your degree on your head in this country. Don't even do that. Any other means that you think you can try to make ends meet, I think you can try to raise capital to start something for yourself that is legit and legitimate, please do. Yeah, please do. I don't even know when this country is going to wake up. I don't know when the leaders of this country are going to start being less selfish. I don't know when the leaders of this country are going to start putting youths and every citizen in the country in their mind. Honestly, a lot of dreams are dying in this country. A lot of people are not able to realize their fullest potentials because we are all dancing to the tune of the path that has been created for us, the system that we are all born into. Life is way more beautiful than it is now. It's way more meaningful than it is now. Like, for a pharmacist to be working in the US, to be practicing in the UK, or any of these countries, Australia, you're going to live very well, even if you're employed. So I deserve better. I deserve better. I'm not going to carry it on my head that, oh, I'm a pharmacist, I'm expected to be practicing. Whereas it's not really paying. It's not really paying. So the better Nigeria comes in, we keep striving, we keep looking at alternatives to make us have a better life. Till then, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe. We are 76 subscribers away from 500 subscribers. Do make this happen, you guys. How do you feel about the whole standard of living in the country? And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.